The Portfolio Committee on Mineral Resources and Energy is disappointed that the Department of Mineral Resources is yet to implement the recommendations made by the Human Rights Commission and civil society. This includes addressing challenges on unregulated, artisanal, underground and surface mining activities. We're now joined by Sahlulele Luzipo, Chairperson of the Mineral Resources Portfolio Committee, to tell us more. A very good afternoon to you and thank you for availing yourself. Perhaps if you could just remind us of some of the recommendations that you feel as a committee were low-hanging fruit that the department could have implemented quite easily.
Well, look, I think the simplest thing that we were raising as a matter of concern was the fact that the Human Rights Commission had made certain recommendations, in particular around artisanal mining. What then we have realized was that there has been no proper interaction between the department and the Human Rights Commission in order to ascertain to what extent to attend to some of these recommendations. For an example, on the issue of artisanal mining, currently the department is working on the regulations that will lead and yield the results with regards to the issue of artisanal mining. And therefore, to some degree, the issue we're raising with them is that if we look and take chapter and institutions seriously, we did not reach a stage where they can take some of those issues to Parliament because they are just easy in terms of the operational requirements to share and then be able to raise areas where there are concerns on how possible to implement such.
What are some of the reasons the department has given for not implementing the recommendations? Have you asked?
Look, what the department says that it has implemented, like I'm making an example in terms of the artisanal mining program with regards to policy and regulation that they have. But the issue is that they have not done so in interaction with the Human Rights Commission. And that is why we said, amongst other things, is not only to respond to us as a portfolio committee on mineral resources and energy. They must convene a meeting with the Human Rights Commission so that they can be able to share the work so far that has been done. So the issue was that even if they do it, the Human Rights Commission definitely is not aware of it, and which is why then they will be able to make that appeal to a portfolio committee of Parliament.
We understand, perhaps if we could just digress and go on to the issue of Jagersfontein. There was a meeting that was held and somebody that gave evidence before the committee has since been given a notice by their company of a hearing, rather, that they will face some disciplinary hearing or some action of that sort. What is it that the committee is then doing to help this person who presented themselves to you?
Look, we have written to the company and told them that as far as we're concerned, it is an illegal act of what they are doing. In fact, it's undermining the role of Parliament. No individual should be barred from disclosing information to Parliament in whatever form it is. Even if we were to walk into somebody's house and that person shares what is happening, that person can't be punished for that. Because Parliament, by virtue on the nature of what it is as an institution, it requires to get honest and clear information. All what it could be done, if that information that is a misleading information or not a correct information, they should then be able to present a counter information that provides what is clarity. And then the action can only be taken on the basis of a misinformation that would have been submitted to an important institution like Parliament. And therefore what they were doing was completely against the law. As far as we know, we don't know what could be the reason, but we have been also informed that the meeting, the DC did not continue on the date concerned. But most definitely, we cannot allow a situation where we allow Parliament to be undermined by any individual, which is why we are looking at other options that the Parliament will have to do everything to protect the employee for being charged in sharing information with Parliament. And we are at this stage, we have not reached a point where they have responded and said what we have informed them of, it's immaterial, they will continue. But we have alerted them that it is an irregular act if they proceed with the DC as such as that, especially put it clear in the DC that is sharing information with the Committee of Parliament.
Then, Luzipo, what options then are available to you, right, especially for this employee? Maybe you speak of the integrity or the reputation of Parliament not being undermined, and so there are options available to you. But as a consequence, should something happen to this person that presented themselves to Parliament, it will then deter others from coming up and speaking, ultimately making the body ineffective. So what options are available to you for the employee?
Look, it's obvious that Parliament will have to take the necessary steps that are required in terms of the law. And if it means it must provide legal service for that employee, so be it. Exactly like you say, that's the matter, that's exactly our concern, that if this were to be allowed to continue, then it would mean Parliament would be completely weakened. No individual will be prepared to come up front and share information with any institution of the state, in particular the legislature, which is the legislature have got that responsibility of oversight on any matter that relates to society in general. And that is why what we got and what we sent to them, it was not something coming only from the Portfolio Committee. It is a letter that is crafted and prepared by the Parliamentary Legal Service.
Sahlulele Luzipo is the chairperson of the Mineral Resources Portfolio Committee. Thank you, sir.